We in here. We back. Episode 97 of Figuring Shit Out Podcast. You already know what it is. Bunny Flocks here. We got King Arthur in the building. What's going on,
You
bro?
know what time it is, man. Unify and thrive. Don't forget it. 2020 phases. We had a good season. Now if you got tech, we out in the building. Got some speaking engagements coming up. What's going on with your friend?
Not much, man. My book. Well, by the
Yeah.
time this comes out
Okay.
in mid to late December, by the end of this year for sure, my book, An Elusive Perspective, is going to be out on Amazon. It's pretty much 99% done. I just need my Library of Congress control number so I can get in libraries and stuff. But once I get that approved, it's gonna be out there. So check that out at elusiveperspective.com, spelled how it sounds or how the words go. But that's what I got going on. We have back with us, if you remember, she was back in season one, like 2.5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
maybe 3 years ago. She
Early in
was
the
one of
game.
our first episodes. This was like episode 6, episode 7, episode 5, one of those, I'm not sure. But here we are at 90 episodes out, 90 episodes ago, 90 episodes in the future. She came back. We got Sheena in here, CEO, founder, clothing designer of the Kemet Clothing Company. What's going on? She's blessing us again. It's been a long
Hey,
time. We got a lot
it's
to
been a
catch up
while.
on.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's been, just been working, maintaining, trying to stay the course. The course has gotten rough over the past couple of years, but trying to stay the course and pivot to some new business ventures.
No,
Um,
facts.
so that's what I'm working on for 2025. I'm excited. I'm really excited about that. I'm not now. I'm to the point where I'm just gonna do it. I say, hey, we're gonna see if it
Love it.
works this time. So like I'm very excited about that because the clothing line has given me the ability to move into other ventures and do different things. So I'm excited about that.
Dope, dope. And yes, if I remember correctly, we talked about that and then we talked about, I think that was a consulting thing. So we're going to get into
Hmm.
that for 2025.
Yeah.
Um, what else was there?
So it's mainly I think I kind of just put it all together under the consulting. We've
Hmm.
discussed like doing ebooks and different things like that, like on the side. So I'm really working with or trying to build clientele with people they have similar stories and backgrounds like I have. That
Right,
you still got to work a 9 to 5, you still have kids, but I have this dream and I have this idea, and I need to figure out how to put it into play by
right.
also maintaining my job, family life, whatever else that you have going on. I was able to launch my clothing line. Of course, you know the story with no money,
Hmm.
no idea what I was doing. Then
Mm.
COVID happened. And, over the years, the mistakes and things that I made, the networking that I built, I want to build that and keep building that and also help others do the same that I've done. Because again, life is going to life regardless. You keep putting off your dreams, then what's going to happen?
Yeah,
Then all these years have passed you by. So that's currently what I'm working on. That's my next big project. So I'm looking forward to that.
no, that's a bar. And if I remember, so when you came on the first time, this was very early on in figuring shit out. We
Hmm.
didn't have like our line of questioning that we have kind of somewhat developed now.
Yeah.
So around like episode 15, 20, we started asking everybody what was the figuring shit out moment. This may have been
Right
you
after.
came on,
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even remember how we started the show back then. But since you're here and we're kind of a little more seasoned, if you have, do you have a figuring shit out moment? At least for the past couple of years, or last time you was here, like some new figuring shit out moment that you can share with us?
Um, I guess the biggest moment, because I think we discussed the moment why I started my clothing line,
Hmm.
just in regards to like, you can work a 9 to 5 and do everything they tell you to do. And then you still don't get the money that comes with the work that you put in. But I guess the next one was that for, at least for my consulting, there are so many people that ask me literally on a daily basis, how did you do this? What did you do to do this? Who can I talk to? Like those questions. And that was kind of the moment where it hit me like, okay, you really, really should do this. Put your fear aside, just that kind of like, should I, just put it aside and just actually help people because somebody reached out to me on social media and asked me a
Hmm.
question about my business. And then we went into like a 2 hour conversation. And he was like, I'm not like dumb. I'm not smart. I just would never have thought to do it the way that you did it, like, or never have thought to say, okay, well, this piece can go with this piece, and you can still make something out of it, even though it's not 100%. So he was like, just kind of the way that you worded it, the way that you helped me figure it out quickly and easily, that was like my figuring out my confirmation. This is what I need to be doing. Because it's a lot of people just don't have the ability and the information and the knowledge. So you can provide that and stay in that lane because that's your lane and
Facts.
develop that lane. And that's what I'm doing. And that was just the moment. The moment was like, yeah, like I need help to figure, I just need help. And it was my confirmation that this is what I should be doing.
No, that's
Okay.
dope. That's dope. So somebody reached out to you for help. And that's another thing
Yeah.
too, is like when it comes to putting yourself on or like trying to put yourself out there, a lot of people have a fear of if they're competent enough,
Mhm.
if if they're gonna make it, if they're gonna fail.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is about those particular thoughts and ideas, just fucking do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
People are gonna talk their shit. People that, rock with you or even love you might talk their shit or feel a certain type of way. But if you just still put yourself out there and pursue something, no matter what it is, no matter how silly you might look,
Mm-hmm.
you can develop the skills, you can develop the processes to become a success. You know what I'm saying? And it all starts with just putting yourself out there.
Yep. And that's what I'm
Uh,
gonna do. And we're gonna see what happens.
that's a
Because
fact.
that's all you can do.
So I want you to talk about the confidence that comes with being able to consult with somebody. Because one of my favorite Jay-Z lines was, "My uncle said I never sell a million records. I sold a million records about a million times, right?" And
Hmm.
like people like that are just, they don't be meaning no harm. They just
Hmm.
haven't done it, and it's like their self projections. They try to put on you. So talk about the confidence that come with being able to guide somebody because you've already clearly done it and successfully.
Yeah. And I think that's where the confidence comes from because I've done it. So I'm never going to give you some information or try to give you a jug that I haven't done. I'm never going to tell you this possibly could work. I'm going to tell you for a fact it can work because I made it work. So that's the confidence is just me doing it repetitively over and over and over again, no matter what happened, especially with my clothing business, no matter what happened. I made more money during COVID, after the 6 months that I launched on COVID, than I think I've made probably the last 6 years of just working a 9 to 5. So I
Mm,
know this is going to work. I know it's going to work. And that's where the confidence comes from. So now do I struggle with like the mental health and insecurities and the doubts that anybody do? I
right.
do, but respectfully, when I'm on, I'm on. And it's just what it is. I can sell water to a well. Like it's just what it is. I've always had that confidence because I've done it. But like I said, you still struggle with, okay, well, are people going to take to what I'm saying? Are people going to
Mm,
take how I'm taking it? Or people are going to, be offended by how I'm telling them to do different things? And I kind of had to put that fear aside. And it is what it is because I'm going to be authentic in who I am, and it's not going to be for everybody, and that's cool. But if you
right.
listen to me, you can't fail because I've done it multiple times.
That part, right? That part. So you telling them, you giving them the blueprint, right? You giving them A, B, C through Z, right? And
Yeah.
somehow they still don't get it. What do you say to them people? Like, is there something wrong with them not listening, or is like, can you instill your confidence into them?
You have to instill a confidence. You have to. I mean, and most people, and it sounds kind of crazy, but most people just need to be told what to do,
Mm,
essentially.
Step by
And that's
step.
that's how people function. So even if you're not losing anything if you don't take it because you ain't started with nothing. So
mm,
regardless of whether I'm helping you, or I'm telling you, I have paperwork, documentation, charts to show you that this will work. You just have to do it the right way. And it's like
mm,
I was watching this interview recently when Denzel did it. He was interviewing for his movie that he did with his sons and things like that. And he was like, if you want to be as successful as I am, or just to meet me where I'm at, listen to what I'm telling you to do.
mm.
To
It
me,
is
it's just
that
that simple.
simple.
You paid for my advice because you trust what I'm saying, and you have to trust that it's going to work. And
Right.
that's
And
really all it
yeah.
is.
And it do be that simple because when you get a mentor that has accomplished what you're trying to do, or is
Mm,
in life or in business, advanced, if they give you the blueprint or it's step by step, just follow that step by step. It's really that simple.
It's
For people
really
that
that
don't
simple.
know, yeah, like what type of uh in your consulting business, what if you could jump down into the weeds a little bit, what specifically can you help somebody as far as your consulting business, or what is the service that you are offering? So what do you help them with?
I've done a couple of like I guess kind of like dummy tests just to kind of see if it's going to work. Like working with different companies, I've worked with 3 or 4 different companies that have followed my blueprint, and exactly what I said was going to happen is going to happen. So whether you come to me and say I have $5,000, or you come to me and say I have $500, I need you to make it work with $500. I can show you how to make it work with $500. And I think the reason and the ability I have to do that, because I was a single mother for a long time, so I had no choice but to figure it out. So again, you can come to me with $5,000 or $10,000, whatever it is, and I can say, okay, these are the reputable companies I can hook you up with. This is what you need to do. You need to follow this blueprint. But I can also say to the same person that says, look, I got $50, I got this, and I got this. What can you make shake with that? We're gonna figure something out, because it's just been what I've had to do for so long. I've had to figure it out. I had to figure out how to feed 2 kids. I had to figure out how, you know what I'm saying, to keep the lights on, the water on. So there's always a way to get it done. You just, I put in the legwork to show you how to do it without you risk taking a lot of loss, without you taking the risk that I took.
Oh, that's dope. That is super dope.
And
I
people
feel
gotta
like, go ahead.
no, I was saying people gotta be comfortable with taking the risk though, like because the last $50 is kind of they want to hold on to it, but not knowing if they let it go freely, it'll come back tenfold if they, like you said, they do it
Every
right.
time. Every time. You're not losing. You can't lose. And it's essentially I built this, it's a system that I built that you can't lose. Because even if it's your last $50, you took the chance to invest it in yourself. Because a lot of people just struggle with that. Like, okay, I want to try it, but how can I? It's not, and it's really not even about losing. It's okay, this is what I want to do. Can you figure out a way for me to accomplish this with the least amount of output as far as financially? There's always a way.
Right.
There's always a way. There's always a way. And
No,
and like I said, I feel so strongly about that because, I've slept in a car with my kids. I now have a 6-bedroom house. Like there's a way. There's a way. You see what I'm saying?
That's
So
a message.
you have to trust that process. Trust that process. It's going to work because it has to work at the end of the day.
No, that's a message. That's a bar. And so basically, for anybody out there who has any doubts or fears, let's talk about failure, right? Because failure is a huge inhibitor of movement. You know what I'm saying? It paralyzes people a lot of times. I know I've been paralyzed by fear. It's one of those things. But pushing through, right? Despite risk, despite fear, despite, thinking negatively or thinking, expecting the worst outcome. Do you have any advice for people that just like are frozen by fear and just fear of failure, fear of falling on their face, fear of looking stupid to their peers, fear of being laughed at? Like, what's the juice that you could use to
It,
just push through that?
And you know what, Frank? It's not even no juice. It's just the fact. It's you go to Walmart, you go down the bread aisle. It's 500 different options. Somebody gonna rock with you. Like at the end of the day, somebody's gonna rock with you, and you really got to have the mindset. Even like I said, I get scared, and this consulting has took so long to launch because of my fear. So that's understandable. However, comma pause. You gonna do this or you gonna do this. Like it's only 1 or 2 options. You can complain for the rest of your life that you're struggling. This job won't do this. I got to go to school to do this. I owe this money. Or you're going to try to do something that just changes the outlook. It may not do absolutely nothing, but you can sit back and say, okay, at least I tried. And I've also always just been a person. There is no difference between me and Jay-Z and Beyonce and anybody else that has billions of dollars. There's no difference. I don't see the difference. I've never seen the difference. I don't like, crash out about fame, like, celebrities and stuff like that. Because you're the same person. You just got your money right now. I'm waiting on my money. You got yours already. That's the only difference.
That's right.
So you have to wholeheartedly believe that, like, there is no different than you and we all got the same 24 hours. There's no difference between you and the person that has $1 million, literally.
Real quick, when you mentioned the bread out, that's a bar because it's true, right? You go into any supermarket, any Walmart, whatever. There's so many products, so many people doing the same thing, and guess what? All those breads in that aisle are moving at some point in time.
Yeah.
Some might move faster than others, but I guarantee you everybody is getting a sale.
Exactly. The bread gonna get ate. The storm come through, the bread gonna come. The bread gonna leave.
Toilet paper, I'm saying? Paper towels.
Exactly. And the bread. You just gotta find that moment for you and shine in that moment and hold on to that moment because it's gonna happen. When that moment happens, you need to be ready.
Right.
And be prepared, yeah.
Man, so I would talk out. So speaking of the bread, people would be expecting their family and friends to come through and support. And 9 times out of 10, that ain't gonna happen. It's gonna be a stranger. It's gonna be somebody you've never met. Strangers gonna support you faster, than the people closer to you will. Talk about going out and getting new clients and meeting new people because, like you said, this is a new endeavor for you, and you had a little fear about going out there and meeting new people who needed your service. But you know people out there who need your service, right?
Yeah, yeah. That part of it's not a fear to me. Like when because like I told you because when I'm on, I'm on. So you telling me no is a joke? No, no, because you said you needed my help. It's like anything I apply anything to. Even when I go to job interviews, I don't understand why you don't want to hire me. You said you need somebody to work. I can do the job. It's that simple. Like there's nothing else to talk about. So the fear, the facts that I have over trumps my fear. So even though like my insecurities might tap on my shoulder, that little devil might tap on my shoulder, like, can you really do this? It's on paper that I can. See what I'm saying? The invoices, the Shopify notifications are showing me that I can. So that is starting to trump the fear that I have because I can do it.
Nice, Var.
So
The
when
Shopify
that
notifications is
even
a
like
flex.
finding client and really because there's a difference of living, your passion and your purpose. You have to find it. They're gonna find me because it's not even about the money for real. Because if it was, I could bang people over the head for the information that I have, but for what? Because
Right.
the people that need me, it never fails. They find me. Just the same as with my clothing purchases. And it's hard to say because people say that all the time about your friends and family or the people closest to you, the people that you think are going to support you. They won't. Who really cares? Right? Like for real. Let's be for real. Like he'll just and I took that personal first when I launched my company because I know so many people and I've looked out for so many people, but it teaches you okay, it's cool to have
Confidence.
people that you know that buy from you, but I want you to buy from me because that's what you want to do.
Mm.
I don't want you to buy from me out of support or the move. No, I want you to buy from me because you went to my website, you saw some dope shit, and you said I want it. Like I want that experience with everybody. Whether I've known you, I've known Frank since high school. I don't want you to buy it because you've known me. I want you to buy it because
Because you like
that
It's
that
dope.
that that's hot. Like that's what I want because that means you're gonna come back.
No, that's dope. And it does take, and I can speak from this personally, there is a level of ego and maybe emotion, I could say, when you start something new, especially when you're kind of early on in your business career or entrepreneurial career, and people that you don't know that you're expecting to buy or patronize you don't. It is like a jab in the soul a little bit
Mhm.
because you're feeling like, am I doing
But
something wrong?
damn,
Do you not
yeah.
really fuck with me like that? But you got to understand, it's 9 times out of 10 is not even personal. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They may not be interested in that product, that service, or whatever. And I've been through that, a bunch of times. And I'm just like, where the fuck is everybody? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah, yeah.
as you keep going and you're doing different ventures or whatever the case have you, you build, I guess, that moxie or that not confidence, but that what's the word I'm looking for? Like you just get stronger.
Fortitude.
Yeah.
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 The fortitude.
You just feel like you be like, fuck it. If you don't buy it, that's cool. I'm still gonna get mines or whatever
Exactly.
elsewhere. And like nowadays, like with this book, you know what I'm saying? I got people, I'm saying that they haven't bought yet. I got a lot that did, but for those that did, I'm not even tripping about it. Like if this
Mhm.
was like 10, 15, 20 years ago, I'd probably be like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah,
But
I'll be blocking you on, Instagram. You don't want to support me. Like, and now it's almost I want you to see it. But it's like this is what I do, and this is just me personally. Like I get in my emotions and I get in my feelings. I get sad. I'm a hormone. I'm a woman. I just had a kid. But then I know it sounds crazy, but this is what I do. I watch gangster movies. I watch American Gangster. Like,
hey,
um, and really, I paid in full. I watch those movies because it puts me back on my like I'm about to get it. But it's like you said, I don't have to sell to you because dope will sell itself.
That's right.
right.
So whether you support me or whether you don't, somebody is going to feel it. I guarantee you. I have, and this is no brag. It's just I have millionaires that choose to make choices to purchase my stuff. They can purchase anything they want to wear. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? But and it's not because they don't know me, but they respect it and see what I'm doing, and that's me lets me know I'm doing something right. Because at some point in time, somebody gonna feel it, and when it happens, it happens.
No, that's a
That's a
bar.
bar. No, that's a bar. And I get the same feeling. Like, so I sell something that's kind of unconventional with I sell some LED masks and toys and stuff, right? And I know a lot of people with kids. Your
Mm-hmm.
kids like it. You still won't buy it. But guess what? Your kid gonna see these other kids playing with this thing, and they be looking at you like, dog, why you ain't hook me up, ho? You know what I mean? So
No,
And I
I
think,
get it.
when you take the bigger picture of it, like the big, at least for me and for my business, the bigger
Mm,
picture for me is I want my children to have a choice. So whether they want to run a business, whether they want to go to school, whether they want to go to the military, whatever they want to do, I want them to know that there are options. And I think
mm,
me showing them that those options are available. So yeah, you have people that graduate and they have all these degrees, and that's great. But you also can do something for yourself. And I think that's, to me, that's the bigger picture for me. So whether Keisha that I went to high school with bought a hoodie for me, it's cool,
yeah,
because
appreciate
I
you.
want you to, because I'm confident in the fact that it's gonna be a full circle moment where you say how long you've known me.
Mm,
Oh, that's my ace from school. I'm gonna know, and you gonna know how flawed you are. I don't Nobody needs to know that. You see what I'm saying? But there's gonna be that full circle moment. Frank gonna have that full circle moment with his book. Oh
mm-hmm.
yeah, we went to high school. No, 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 because you ain't pay that. You ain't get that book. Like, and it's nothing for nobody else, but and
Right.
that's
Thanks.
if nothing else, that's more confirmation that you're doing the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's dope. That's a bar.
At least that's my opinion. I don't know.
I know it's gonna happen. It could be 10. I might not sell shit for the next 5 years. Year six, that book blows up. Everybody gonna be like, oh, but you had a chance. Yours could have been signed. You know what I'm saying? I could have
Right.
hand delivered it to you. It's all good. Um, Kemet, Kemet Clothing. You got some new stuff, new designs.
Um, I got some new stuff, some new designs. I feel like what works best for me, and this is how I know that I'm in the right lane now, is people go
Mhm.
through manufacturers and all that other kind of stuff. And I think I ain't gonna even tell you how much money I spent when I relaunched
Mhm.
on this manufacturer stuff. It sounded real good because that's what the masses was doing, and it just further confirmed what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
The creativity that I have and the ability that I have in doing everything myself gives me that creativity where I'm not just stuck in what everybody else wants to do and what all the manufacturers do for everybody else. And so, got some new color schemes, colorways. I always dropping colorways. I'm always dropping different sets. That's just convenient. I try to teeter towards women sometimes, but they get real finicky and just, don't worry
Yeah,
about it. You know what I'm saying? Don't even worry about it. So, it's like I'm working that out, and it's giving me the ability to create at a better production level. I'm just doing things myself and working ideas out for myself, and I'm excited about that. We upscaled on just the quality of the fabric itself, and that's what I'm enjoying. The packaging, the shipping, and all that kind of stuff has definitely been updated. Great, great, but I've done it myself because it's given me the ability to do it how I want to do it.
No,
right.
that's huge because quality is important, because
Yeah,
you can get something for the first time, buy a product from somebody or whatever, and then
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of tell that the quality's not there, and then it kind of turns you off,
yeah,
from
it
ever
is.
buying again. I
Yeah.
know for a fact, both your shit is dope. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine if you change people or manufacturers or whatever, and you're saying it's
Hmm.
doper now, I know the quality's still
And
super
I do
dope.
that because I trust it. I feel like that's the growth, and I feel like I ain't gonna throw no shade to nobody in particular, but there's been a couple of, you try to support small businesses and all that stuff, and then you get stuff waiting for like a month or whatever. I don't understand what the problem is because I do it myself and
It
it
comes from
don't take
China.
that long. But
Mhm.
okay, but I get then you get something and it's like,
What?
really? And I don't know if I look at it differently because I have my clothing line, but like
Mm-hmm.
I waited that long for this. You see what I'm saying? Or what's being shown on Instagram and social media and marketplace or wherever they're selling it at, it's not the same actual product you receive. I don't do business like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like that's bad business. And that's attached to my name. And that's
Right.
real big
Yeah.
for me.
Picture look different, the colors off,
Man, listen.
the
So I
cloth
try
is
my best to
weird.
keep it as close. And this is just not with people I personally know, but genuinely, if you have an issue, reach out to me. You don't have to like this may have happened or this may have happened or something may have happened in transit. It's cool. I have
Mhm.
no issue replacing it because again, it's attached to my name, and I know how I am about stuff that I get from people, and it's not the best quality because you could have done better.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
People expecting a particular experience, and then they, when they get it, they don't get that experience. They get,
Yeah, and I don't like that. You spend so
Yeah.
much on marketing, but what I get as the product is like, really?
Look,
No, that's not good business to me.
we set up a shirt. Well, we said it on our store. Check out the figuringshitout.com website. We got a store
here,
up there and we got shirts. We ordered one from Canva. I think he
no,
ordered one from Canva.
yeah, I won't do that again.
Hmm.
I won't do
The
that
Canva
again. Like
joints.
I told Frank, I make shirts now. Like I got a little brand I do for my walking and stuff, and it's just motivational quotes or whatever. But I understand, like I get some DTF film or whatever, direct to transfer films, and they're just like a
Yeah.
better quality than
Yep.
whatever Canvas sent me. So I was like, if we ever make another selling another shirt, I'll do it because
Yeah.
I can't send that
And
out
it
to nobody.
sucks because a lot of people say, I get people that I didn't ask their opinion, first of all, which is like so like draining to me. But they'll be like, well, did you try drop shipping? I like to see what I put out. I like to touch everything that
Mhm.
leaves me because I know what I sent you. You know what I'm saying? Even with the DTF transfers, the whatever you try to use, you can use vinyl, heat press, whatever you're using. I need to touch it. I inspect it. I look over everything before it goes out because I need to know that what people are receiving is what I just promoted on this website or what I just
Right.
sold to somebody else. I need it to be identical. I need it to look all the same. And dealing with other companies, they don't really, I'm gonna just say some people don't. So you really got to find it, and that's where the consulting comes in because you really have to find somebody, and that takes a lot of time. So I've cut that in half. I've removed that essentially because I know what works.
Who you
I
talking
know
to?
from transfers, sublimation, whatever you want to use. I know what's the best products at an affordable price because I've messed up doing everything else.
Nah, it's
Mm.
facts. I'd tried 4 or 5 different transfer companies, right? And it's like now, like so, and I already got it in my mind. Once I get to a certain number of orders, I'm gonna get my own printer,
Yeah,
right?
and that's what I
What?
did.
So,
Exactly what I did. Because once you
so
figure out how to do it yourself, it's almost a joke that you end up paying somebody to do it. But then it's like I can see what I just did and I know what it looks like. And if it's not right, it's cool. I can take that L and make something better.
right,
Yep.
in house, yeah. So that's my next move to get the printer because,
Yep.
like I said, I ain't sold enough shirts yet to say I'm gonna be selling shirts like that. But
Yeah.
once I hit my threshold of selling X amount of shirts, I'm gonna get me a printer.
Yeah.
It's already yeah.
It's
Oh, that's
definitely
dope.
a good investment.
All
And we
right. So what
also
kind of printer
got
you got? Look, what kind of printer you got over there?
I cannot say what the name of it is because I've had it since 2022 and I actually got it from a link somebody sent me.
Oh, okay.
But it's bigger. I've seen it's real boxy.
Okay.
Um, but I've seen different ones. I want to upgrade, but it kind of just depends on where each of the businesses go. Like where which one is kind of going to pull me more. Because like I said, there's I did the clothing line, but I think there's something deeper that's coming with that, and I think
Mhm.
that's where I'm leaning more to. So it's not like I'm stalling out on investments in regards to it. It's just like okay, moving on to that next step.
Ooh, can you talk about it? Is this under in the cut or
Top secret.
Yeah, so I'm launching beginning of January, beginning of 2025. I've kind of based it down to about 5 good, consistent clients because, like I said, I want to make sure from the beginning to the end that you're as successful as I am, so that way you see it. So I'm gonna open it up for about 5 clients and literally maintain their business over the next 12 months from the beginning of 2025 to 2026. I already have 2, um, and to me, that's going to be where a lot of my energy goes to.
no? Are you gonna
So
like so while you're
yeah.
working on that, are you gonna have like a understudy or somebody that can do the commit on the side, like a protege or somebody or
Really didn't have any intentions outside of my
Mhm.
children. Because
Mhm.
that's if something happens to me tomorrow, I need to make sure they know they can do something that can make sure they make money.
Mm.
So my oldest, yeah, I'm a 20-year-old and I have a 15-year-old. So they sometimes they get in the thick of it with me sometimes. So the
Yeah, that's
last
dope.
Black Friday sale, surprisingly to me, I can't even remember how many orders I've done, and I was shocked, and it required some people to come in and help, but
That's
that's
dope.
what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to be able to have people, to come in. I'm gonna slide you some money. I need you to help me process a lot of this stuff. So that's where I'm at now, and that's what I want to when it comes to that. Whether it be high school kids, college, just people that still have that lack of fear in the world because they ain't been here long enough. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's not like, they're starting to get scared and timid and get stuck into the job core and stuff like that. Those are the people that I look for. Just, hey, let me come kind of teach you the structure of a business, how, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 work. Something real
100
simple.
people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that'd be super dope. That'd be super dope to find those young, impressionable people that, like you said, are hungry and like
Hmm.
internship kind of, but not really. You still pay them enough to
Yeah.
care, pay them enough to be there and to actually get some value out of them as opposed to like taking advantage of anybody.
Yeah. And just,
Um,
a couple of crash courses. Okay. You can do something out, like you said, selling t-shirts, whatever it is, just to kind of keep yourself above board without getting yourself in trouble and doing things that you shouldn't be doing.
And then you also teach them a skill that they can take rest of their life, right?
Exactly.
So even if they do, put this aside, go get a job, go test out the world and be like, I don't want to do none of that, they can always fall back on, something you should probably taught them.
Yeah. And that's that's the real goal. That's to me, that's what's really important because I wish not taking anything from like my parents or my village or the people that raised me, but I wish I was taught the unlimited amount of options we have. You know what I'm saying? And that fear that just try it. Like and that's what I push into my kids every day. Like it's so many different options. It's don't ever let somebody just kind of conform you to, well, if you go to school for 4 years, you're gonna get
Yeah.
this great job. This
One thing,
we all know.
yeah, one
You know what
thing
I'm
that
saying?
I am grateful for, even though shit, I just turned 40. And I've learned this over the
Here.
past several years. Um, and it's never too late, right? So
Exactly.
if you're out there, no matter what your age is and whatever, it's not real. It's never too late. But teaching our children, our kids to have this business mind at their age, like they're teenager, early
Hmm.
20s or whatever. Because like you said, my parents and older family members, they didn't have this mindset. Nobody was thinking about a business. Nobody's thinking about investing.
Exactly.
Everybody was thinking about getting a job, keeping a job.
Mm-hmm.
If they lost that job, they got laid off, fired, whatever, finding the
Exactly. Yeah.
next kind of dead end job. And that was the culture, or and I didn't wake up to like to business and all this till like probably want to say late 20s, early 30s
Hmm.
before there was like a paradigm change, shift in my mind where I was like, I mean, having a job is cool. Okay, I got a great salary, all right, but I could lose this. They could
Hmm.
fire me. I could get laid off, and then what? You know what I'm saying? So like trying to branch out into business, but again, like I said, getting our kids to understand that and to do for themselves as opposed to look for somebody to
Or wait for
write them a
somebody.
check.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
and I see more people. I see more of us waking up to that, and I think it's
Hmm.
beautiful. I think the next generation after us, and maybe the generation after them, there'll be more entrepreneurs, there'll be more businesses, and it's not necessarily a bad thing because when people say it's not enough to go around, everybody can't be a boss. I disagree with that. I feel like
Exactly.
many more people can be bosses. There's so much money out there. You got conglomerates siphoning all this money up to themselves,
Hmm.
Walmarts, the Amazons. Like small business can thrive. A small business can support a family. You know what I'm saying? And imagine every family. Back in the day, we had tailors, we had
Hmm.
different kind of
Cute
companies or
cobblers.
whatever. Yeah,
Yep.
laundromat. There was a family business almost in every family, and they supported themselves that way. And then you had Industrial Revolution, and then they started siphoning all the jobs, and then started turning
Hmm.
those business families
Dumbing down the
into
community.
employees. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of where we've been for like the last 100 years. But here we are, 2024. I think we're starting to break out of that. We see the manipulation, we see the exploitation. We're trying to break away from that, and everybody's doing their own thing. And I think it's
Mm-hmm.
beautiful, and I'm here for it.
And I think like for me, the biggest thing is like everything is just like me showing my kids and what my kids gonna see. And I don't know because I turned 40. So in my head, it's like, okay, when I'm no longer here. And I don't know if
Oh,
Frank, that's happened when you hit 40. It's like, okay, I'm getting up
I still
there.
got 100 years left in me.
Yeah, but it's like
So,
I'm just teaching my kids. But for an example, short story, my mom worked at the same hospital in California since I was 15 years old. I'm 40. So she's been at that same hospital for 15, like since I was 15. And her dad, my grandfather got sick. And the job told her that she can't take the time off to go home to take care of him. She's been at that job since I was 15. They essentially forced her into retirement because it was like, okay, well, we ain't
at
gonna
least.
hold your job for you. And
yeah,
I
give them
and I
fun.
can't
Yeah.
find one person more loyal to a job than my mother. And
Hmm.
I was like, Ma, I don't want that for my life. And I don't want that. If I want to go take care of my daddy, I'm gonna go take care of my daddy, especially when you've put as much time
What
and
equity?
loyalty into a company. And they just go easily be like, oh, we don't want to do that. So we're gonna make you retire early, and we're gonna give you half of what you were supposed to get if this is what you choose to do. You got
Mm,
There's so many
I
stories.
refuse. I refuse. And she works in healthcare.
right.
Yeah.
So
That's
to me, that's like that's just that's what I tell them all the time. Like that's the stuff that you have to remember when it comes to the school and the colleges and all that kind of stuff. You really got to find something that you can do that can't
They can.
everybody can't do it.
right.
Everybody's gonna do it. There's like you said, the 400 things of bread, but they ain't all the same.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like
And
they say, yo,
that's what I use. They ain't all the same.
yeah, no, that's the bar. And so many people like I think, not to get personal or whatever, I think my mom's at that age where she's starting to realize because she's in the medical industry too, and she's
Hmm.
realizing that same thing is like so and it's different now than it was maybe 50, 60 years ago. 50, 60 years ago, you could work at one job and
Exactly.
retire and get a pension for the rest of your life. I don't
Mhm.
know what they were smoking back then, why it's so different today.
Right?
Maybe they were more generous, the dollar was stronger, but now it's like
That's
as the
probably it.
decades went on, the companies started becoming more, reckless, stingy, whatever the case,
Hmm.
more about the bottom line and their shareholders and, fuck the people.
Yeah.
And that's where we are now. So yes, we're breaking away from that. Everybody's noticing the conglomerates. They're really about just profit, you know what I'm saying? And that's not to say we wouldn't be, in that position, but when you got a family and you got personal things you got to deal with and you have a job, that shit don't mix.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
It
saying?
don't.
9 times out of 10.
Yeah.
Just like the what was it? We talked about it before too, Frank. The shipyard.
Hmm.
Them people had to stop working to tell the people higher up, "Hey, slow down on the AI shit." But at the end of the day, what's gonna happen? AI
Yeah.
coming, and they don't care about all them
Right.
thousands of people that's gonna be replaced, right? So that's kind of what we're talking about here: is just finding the skill or finding the passion or finding the purpose to where you ain't got to rely on them. Yeah, you can go to them to fund your dream, right?
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
can borrow, you can share some time with them, learn a skill, and do it on your own,
Means to an end. Yeah.
right? But don't let them. If you give them a chance to opportunity to feed you, right, you give them an opportunity to starve you. And
Exactly.
I felt that same way. Like so, my people they didn't work a particular job for a particular amount of time, right? It was always job here, job here, job here, right? And so when I went outside and made my first 2,500 on my own, it was just like, oh shit, y'all done fucked up. I could,
Is what? Yeah.
I could easy money, and it took up hours. It ain't had to
Yep.
do the whole 40 hours, right? So it was just like, and they'll never pay you enough to be their neighbor. You know what I'm talking about? And there's always gonna be somebody, coming under you, younger, cheaper, less experienced, but they cheaper, so they don't care. Get out
Yeah.
of here, go find something else to do. So now that's a major key, a major plug of you just finding something that you want to do, that you're able to do, that nobody
And
can
it's
take away.
And it's simple. My last job that I had before I went on maternity leave, because I just had a baby, like I was saying, well, not just had one, but I had a maternity leave. They let 72 people go. This and
Ooh,
mind you, they did this right before Christmas last year. 72 people. It had to have been maybe 3 weeks before Christmas. And mind you, I'm the one of the last people that came in. So I'm thinking, you kind of, you've been in jobs long enough when they start to make changes and people start doing stuff. So I'm thinking I'm gonna be, because I'm the last one hired, first one fired kind of thing. They had people that's been at that job 10, 15 years and let them go with a severance check just because the
that's
company was downsizing, COVID and all that other kind of stuff. But it's like that kind of that just reaffirmed like you gotta always make sure you have something coming in, something that you can provide for your family that's tangible for you. It's like I tell my daughter all the time. Sometimes I'll go 2, 3, 4 weeks without a sale, and I won't be pushing the marketing, and I won't just I'll be like whatever, you know what I'm saying today. But then it's like, dang, I need some money for this, this, and this. And it's that easy to make that amount of money putting in that little bit of work versus, you working 8, 12 hour days and you're not getting
Yes.
any money in. You know what I'm saying? So to me,
Mhm.
it's like really simple. You put a little bit of effort in, you're gonna get what you put, you're gonna get it back. Like you can't miss by putting for like you can't that's to me, you just can't miss.
universal law.
Like you just put the work in. It ain't even gotta be a lot of work. Just you know what I'm saying, put 75% in, and
Mhm.
you're gonna see it coming in and it's just gonna make sense. Like, why am I slaving away here when I can do this and and make twice as much or cut my time in half and spend time with my family, whatever it is that you decide, that you want to do.
Right.
Mhm. No, these are bars. Hopefully, some out there is getting these nuggets, getting inspired, getting motivated to move your
Yeah.
ass. If you're sitting
I
on
hope
your
so.
ass with a job and you don't know if you'll have a job tomorrow, this message is for you. All right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Now this
saying?
is
I
especially for you
wish
last week, man.
I wasn't, I don't know what I was doing 20 years ago. I mean, I kind of do, but I wish I was ingesting, stuff like this in my teens, my late teens, my early 20s, because I just didn't really have what's the word? I didn't have guidance and I didn't have anybody to look up to.
But it was intentional, right? They won't letting this type of information around our type of
Exactly.
people anyway,
Hmm.
right? Because
True.
them other kids was able to lemonade stand it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or lawnmower it up, right? And so you
Yeah.
might come across a friend who got a lawnmower, right? You may come across a friend who, but it won't ubiquitous information. It wasn't
No, that's a fact.
being
Yeah.
mainstream onto your TV because all I seen Dragon Ball Z. Ain't nobody seen the entrepreneurial shows. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like even
No,
even
that's
in
true.
school, the young FBA, Young Business of America or Association,
Mm-hmm.
whatever, right? Only a certain amount of kids or a certain set of kids got to go there, and they were kids who started out or was told about it from a
Yeah.
parent or somebody because it won't. I didn't know what FBA was until I got out of school. You know what I'm talking
Hmm.
about? Like so, it was super intentional, Frank. So, but just imagine, right? Just imagine if they let all the special kids, all the unique kids know about entrepreneurship, business, and uh, self development, self awareness, right? And kind of working on what you like to do and letting you thrive into that. Just imagine how different our generation would be,
But
right?
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? When we were 14 to 17, pouring that type of development to us. So when we turn 20 to 30, we ain't got to wait till we 30 to 40 to figure it out, then 40 to blow up. You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
So,
Shit,
man,
14, 17, I was playing Def Jam Vendetta.
boy, I was
That's all I
hooping
was
my
doing.
ass off on going nowhere. Going nowhere.
Yeah, it's all good. My kid's kind
Yeah,
of like my kid is on like I be trying with him. We're gonna get him straight. He's good. He knows a lot. He knows a lot more than he puts on, but
right.
he's like in that lazy teen shit right
Yeah.
now.
But it's
That's
like
all
I
good.
watch my daughter, especially my 15-year-old. She knows a lot. Because when she get in her bag, it lets me know, okay, she listening. You know what I'm saying? They might
Mhm.
not act like it all the time. They do their teenage stuff, but okay, it's something it's sinking in and it's marinating in her spirit. And that's all it is. And it's like I tell my mom all the time, it's not really your fault. You just did you taught me what you knew how to do. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
Yeah.
So I'm teaching my kids something different because it's different times. It
Mm-hmm.
ain't the
Hmm.
same.
We in the next, let me see, the next 20, 30, 40 years, like we probably like really up there. Hopefully, I feel like we'll be able to see the fruits of the world and how it's changing now, how it's molding with social media and all the information that's out there about this type of stuff. And then our
Hmm.
kids, what I'm saying, we get to see more entrepreneurs in our families, more business owners in our families, more well-off people, financially well-off than coming up in our time.
Yeah.
Hey,
What I'm
Frank.
saying? I remember everybody I knew was broke.
Hey,
I didn't know
Frank.
a rich person. I didn't know nobody. What's up?
They about to put that genie back in the box, my boy.
Nah,
They can throw that
that's
bitch in
not
the
the
bottom of the
timeline I'm
ocean.
on. That's not the
They
timeline I'm
need
on.
they need less entrepreneurial people. TikTok ban. Look at the TikTok ban. Look at the TikTok ban. Why take it away? Why?
Because
We know why.
that's what I tell people. They taking it away because all that information that started circling,
No, no,
if you didn't pick up a book, you knew to go to TikTok.
we know.
Man,
Okay,
I don't even
there's
check
a
the
very
news no more.
specific
Stuff
answer for
happened, I go
this.
on TikTok.
Yeah, there's a very specific answer for this.
I'm listening.
Um, and it was because of it rhymes with Haza and what was happening over there. All right, and those people, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? They didn't like the kind of information I was propagating off of that,
Hmm.
Right.
and that was the upset. They were like,
Yeah.
"Hey, there's a war going on. We don't like what people are talking about and sharing. So attack TikTok because everywhere else it was moderated, it was censored, you couldn't talk
Yeah.
about it. Now TikTok has actually changed a lot.
Hmm.
Our shit's getting hit all the time. We're not even talking
Mm.
about crazy things. They be lying on us, saying we're talking about child trafficking and drugs and all this, and we've been just looking at the warning like, did you even listen to this? But anyway, so
Yeah.
TikTok has gotten bad since they got threatened, and they're about a month away or whatever before maybe they'll go away for good. But they pretty much ruined that platform for that reason. But you know, through social media, we still got Instagram, we got Facebook, we
Hmm.
got
It's gonna be something else.
yeah, so
It's
people can
gonna be
share
something.
ideas and learn from each other. So yes, that I think TikTok is a small hiccup because of there was a very specific thing going on about a
Hmm.
very specific group of people that they didn't like. If it wasn't for that, I don't even think TikTok would have got fucked with. You know what I'm
I
saying?
don't know.
So
I'm with her kind of like you ain't got to pick up a book no more. Like somebody on TikTok telling you,
Yeah.
not even telling you, showing you step by step how to do something. And if you need further instruction, hey, hit me up and I'll take you deeper down the rabbit hole.
It's a rabbit hole, and then the benefit of it versus the news or whatever else and reading the books, it's a 3-minute rabbit hole. So I can go to another 3-minute video because it's gonna max out at 3 minutes. You see what I'm saying? So it's like I can give you all of this knowledge and information in 3 minutes, which is the attention span for most people. So then boom, then you're going to somewhere else and you're going to somewhere else. And I think it didn't start off like this because everybody was just dancing in the first place. But it's if I need to find something out, I go to TikTok first because I know somebody gonna be talking about it, and then you get the information and stuff like that versus going to the news where it's like we're gonna tell you this, but we ain't gonna tell you this. You know what I'm saying?
We're gonna tell you the Matrix version.
Yeah,
we're gonna tell you the Matrix version we want you to believe, as opposed to
what's really happening. Yeah,
but also
an alternative viewpoint.
Also, like I said, if you need more information, I got some more information for you. You got to pay for it though. But now all these creators are getting paid. Going to work for what? Going to sit in your cubicle for what? Going to pack your groceries for what? Going to flip your burgers for what? You know how many people are not in the workforce because they on TikTok doing anything?
Because like with young boy Kai, like that boy was stupid money, and all he was doing was recording himself.
Man.
Because again, he found his moment and he shined in his moment.
I heard somewhere he making like $5 million a day.
Yes.
Maybe, or millions. Yeah, multiple millions every day. That's beyond generational.
Like playing video games. You got to be kidding me. You know what I'm saying?
But, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. And that's just a sign of the times. Like, and then, you know, we online, we making content for money. We try and do our thing. We're a little bit older than Kai, but it's still a possibility, you know what I'm saying, putting out content, putting yourself out there, because nobody can copy you. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing that people don't really understand. Social media is about putting yourself on, branding yourself, and just being real. You know what I'm saying? You can get up there, you can lie, you could play around and be fake and all that. We've seen creators, especially this one girl, she was like a super vegan, supposedly, up there talking about being a vegan and never eating meat and all this stuff. And then one day she got caught eating meat, destroyed her shit. She was gone. She, destroyed. So it's just about going online, being yourself, being real, and then you can make it from that. People fall in love with you, who you are, as long as you stay true to yourself. You know what I'm saying? You'll be out of here. So like, Kai is a perfect example of that.
The crazy part is, it's like, and I know, and I know that you got in trouble for the same thing in school, for talking. That's all we got in trouble for talking. But listen, now it's to the point, like, especially when I launched, the amount of interviews, panels, podcasts, speaking events that I did. You about to pay me to talk? Man, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, you about to pay me just to tell you what you need to do because you scared to do it? Like, say less. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's just that's how much the times have changed. You see what I'm saying? That's how much things have just grown. Like, I've literally, every time I got in trouble, it was for me talking. But somebody's about to pay me to do that same exact thing just because it's just facts behind it, it's truth behind it. It's that moment that I'm taking advantage of, and that's all they doing on TikTok. All they doing is reading books, and they putting information out there.
You can just get there and journal daily. That's it.
I think I said this before. Like, back in the day, like the government, before internet and TV and radio, they talked about it before, Frank. It was hard to swindle the people because all they had shit to do but to read. Right? They had nothing to do but to read. Right?
And they didn't have nothing to base it off of, but what was in that book? So it's in the book, so it must be true.
Man, so now then they get the TV, the radio, the entertainment. It's like, I can tell you anything.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh, you can't tell me anything because I can go fact check now. Right? I can go figure it out for myself now. So they go put that genie back in the bottle, bro.
They trying. And I won't say everybody.
It's gonna be hard.
Yes, it's gonna be. I think that it's beyond their control now. The most they could do is like how they did the TikTok is force the owners to sell. But and if they did that, it's not like it'll go away. It'll be new ownership, but the new owner could pick up where they left off, depending who you sell it to. You know what I'm saying? So they got these controls, and they
don't,
they mess with the dials every now and then.
Yeah, I tell my daughter they can't ban TikTok. You can go and watch porn. So you telling me I can't watch TikTok? Like, come on now, be for real. Like,
you can be for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Lemonade thing or something is supposed to be.
With that little button to say, "Are you over 18?"
Yeah, go on and hit the "Are you over 18" button on TikTok and keep it going, because that's really all it is.
Okay. Are you a robot? No.
Exactly. Whatever.
Honestly, I don't think TikTok's going to, I think something's going to happen between now and then.
It's literally
It could be
25
the
days,
sale, huh?
30 days. It's like 30 days, 35 days.
30 and 10 days, like January 19th. I think
Yeah.
there's going to be a sale to somebody, American company or whatever that
Mhm.
just the formula is not broken, so they don't have to reinvent anything if they just buy it and do the same shit. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It'll still
And
be
call us something different. Okay, cool.
if they, but again, if they start talking bad about a certain group of people, they're probably that's what I want to see. Okay, let's say someone buys it and then they start going down that road again. What are you gonna do now? You know what I'm saying? It's American company owned. You force China to sign it or just sell it. Now somebody's here doing it. What you gonna do? I don't know. I don't know.
I just
I'm
think
just
that it's crazy that in the day and age and the times that we're living in, like the biggest concern of the world is TikTok.
It's
Like it's
TikTok.
not that
Yeah.
serious. Like the biggest we're debating like that's an actual conversation with everything else that's going on.
All right.
This is the hot topic right now. You know what I'm saying? Amongst other craziness, but this is like, are we really talking about social media right now
Mhm.
versus actually what's really happening? But again, we
It's about to
wouldn't
be
know what was really happening if there
2025.
was no social media.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. We would only have the
The
news
books
and the
and yeah,
newspapers and the radio, and for a long time, that's all we had. And that's why I feel
yep,
like at the turn of the century, we had AOL and Windows 95, and we
and
started
that
getting
was it.
online and started talking with each other. And it was like mass adoption of social knowledge exchange. Um,
That
you
Yahoo
know,
Messenger messed everything up. Is really what
Yep,
happened.
AOL Messenger. Legacy Media has
They
Yep.
been
take location.
dying for 20 years, and it's not coming back. We don't trust them. We caught them lying so many times. Everybody's tired of it. We just not even listening no more. I haven't listened. I
Yeah.
don't listen to the radio. If I'm driving somewhere, I don't turn.
Hmm.
I don't listen to radio.
Yeah.
I don't know who's on the radio. I know the songs. Don't even ask me. I couldn't tell you. So that's where we are. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So
Yeah.
it is what it is.
So before we go, we got off on a nice little conversation. Uh, nice little conversation. We do got one more question for you though before we go. So what is something you're trying to figure out moving forward? You might have mentioned it before, but I'm gonna ask it anyway.
What's the question?
What's something you're trying to figure out moving forward?
How to be
Mhm.
consistent in my confidence. I
Mm.
think if I could maintain that confidence on a 95%, because I have my days where like, yeah, and it gets real bad. And if I could figure out moving forward just to maintain that little bit of confidence I don't even need to be at 100 all the time, but like just at
Mhm.
that 50% every day, like no matter what, I think if I could figure that out, I'm telling you, you're
Okay,
gonna see my network on
Be a different
Forbes.
beast.
that's
You know what
right.
I'm
Different
saying?
beast.
Y'all gonna say she was on that 97th show and she said that, and that's what happened. If
Yeah,
I
all
could
that.
get that 50% every day,
You'll be a
yeah,
different beast, but a new
it'd be
monster.
exactly.
Uh,
Exactly. That was bars.
There you go.
one of my favorite sayings is I let you hang on to this one. I remain perfectly present. Right, so I
Hmm.
do my best to remain present in every moment, even if I'm feeling a certain way. Right, I remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is just a moment. Right, I'm still me. I'm perfectly present in the moment. Right, I mean,
That
so
I like that. That I
yeah,
like
that's
that.
mine. You can borrow it.
I'm gonna put that
Boom.
one in my pocket. For them days when I'm not at that 100%,
Yeah.
I'm gonna put that one in my pocket.
Let's go. So, before we go, where can people find you? Let's talk about your social medias. Let's talk about your website and your
Mm.
consulting business, how to get in touch with you. If you said you're taking 5, but if in case somebody got your questions, where can people find you? What's going on?
So, of course, the kemetclothingcompany.com at gmail.com is the email address that you can contact me in regards to anything clothing wise, anything in regards to orders, shipping, anything crazy like that. Come January 1st, charmingcreoleconsulting.com and charmingcreoleconsulting at gmail.com will be the contact information. We're gonna, like I said, work with the ebooks, work a package for everybody. Everybody's gonna have a different package based off of their needs. So those will be the ways to get in contact with me. Up until then, Facebook, Sheena Lynn, Instagram, Sheena Lynn.
Mhm.
You know, that's the best way. Don't call my phone.
Mm-hmm.
But that number that shows up when you Google, don't call that number though. But yeah, social media right now, that's the best way because it gets to me, y'all. I get to y'all real fast that way.
That's
There it is. So we thank you again.
yeah.
Episode 97 is a wrap. You was here. in our very first 10 episodes. We appreciate you for that. And you're back here blessing us again. We appreciate you. You have a good night, and we'll see you. This will probably come out hopefully this Saturday, if not the next Saturday, but we'll let you know.
We'll see y'all boys at the top.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
All right. Good night.
Thanks. Good night.
Later.